What's up everyone, welcome back to Fixing Geometry Dash Levels Part 2. Today I'm going to be fixing Ultimate Demon Mix. While the gameplay of the level is overall pretty good, it's got some balancing issues and a couple bugs that do need to be worked out. But I feel like with good balancing I can make this a very fun level to play, so let's get started. Alright, we're going to actually work back to front for this because I personally think that working from the back of the level to the front is a little bit easier for this type of series. So we're going to start with this Windy Landscape part. The beginning of Windy Landscape is actually pretty good in Windy Landscape. Having a part of this difficulty at the end of this level is kind of stupid and silly. So I want to do a couple nerfs on the Windy Landscape part. So first, just like a couple of timing nerfs. I want to make this more forgiving. This gives a mini UFO more space to jump there. This triple is a little bit intimidating, so I actually want to nerf this as well. Just a small nerf like that, just to make it a little bit lighter. I haven't had any problems with this jump in Ultimate Demon Mix, although I did have a lot of problems with it in Windy Landscape itself, so just in case, I'm just going to get rid of that spike there. This supersonic part is really bad, and actually, what I want to do for this is turn on show hitboxes just to make the nerfing and buffing process a little bit easier on me. This part is really tight for the end of the level. Like the bouncing, especially at the end of this level, is just not okay. So I'm gonna just clear this up a little bit and make the corridors just a tiny bit better. And you know what? Actually, I think I want to raise this a bit. Yeah, like just raise the entire thing. If I can do that. Here, that should make it just the slightest bit tighter. This jump is actually hell. Like, it doesn't make any sense and there's so much wrong with it. First off, you can die to this spike right here, so we'll just delete that entirely. You can die to this spike object here, which is also stupid. So we're actually going to delete that, and we're going to take these fake ones right here, and we're going to rotate them and kind of do the same effect that they do with the little block there. And then we're going to nerf this triple a tiny bit and move these spikes inward. Alright, that is a lot better, I personally think. I personally think that these changes will just make this part much more consistent and enjoyable to play. This wave section is scary. It's really tight. Well, it's not like really tight, but it's threatening. Like it can be very scary to play. So I'm just gonna move a couple of saws here and there just to make this level feel more enjoyable. Make it a little bit more fair. I think that's pretty good. For the 9 circles part, the 9 circles part's honestly okay, but it's like just ever so slightly too much. So I just want to make some of the parts in this little 9 circle section a little easier, and we're just going to select a couple parts of the 9 circle section and just nerf them slightly. Just make this part less scary. These changes will all be made up for when I do some buffs of some easier parts, so don't worry, this still will be an insane demon. This upside on wave 2. Let me get rid of some of these, or not even get rid of, just like move them ever so slightly and make them just more fair and more fun generally. Open up these sections slightly. That should just make it a lot better. Alright, now that that wave section's a lot better, we can move on to this cataclysm part. I actually don't really die at this cataclysm wave a lot, so I'm gonna leave it as is and just change a little bit in this ship part. I just wanna move this little dual section and make it a little bit less tough. Not even by that much. I just want to make the space one wider. That's better. Just open it up the tiniest bit more. Maybe also take this and lower it down by 1. And I also finally would like to take this part and move it down very slightly. Now this part doesn't need much change. It's a memory section. I don't really want to buff it. I think it's fine as is. But this section right here, this little slow section, needs work. In my opinion, it needs a lot of work. Probably the most work of any part of the level, honestly. So firstly, I want to make this transition a little more reactable and move these back too. Alright, I'm going to now playtest this and see what kind of changes I want to do based on the playtesting. Alright, after a little while, I've got some ideas. Firstly, I want to make this jump a much tighter timing. Not much tighter, just a little tighter. I want to make an object kind of like this. I think this would be good. Actually, it might fit better with a level steaming if I use a saw of sorts. So I'm going to pull this from up here and move it over here. Kind of like that. I think that'll work. I want that to be able to set you up nicely for this timing here. And then I can also add a spike like this right here. And that should just make that a lot cleaner. These orbs here, I can add a couple saws even. and just make these jumps a lot stricter on their timing. Clean that up. I just want to get rid of these objects here. I want to move this. I want to move it over here. I want to set up a timing here in which you time and then buffer. So let me grab this. Let me grab this object, move it in this area like that, and I'll copy it and move it right onto where this this orb is. Center it as best I can, and I'm going to scale it until it's like right below that hitbox. That's perfect. So now that's a buffer click and a timing click. Do I want to make that a timing? I think I do want to make it a timing. Let me grab a big saw. Let me lower this saw down slightly to make this timing a little tighter. We'll make this jump tighter, bring another saw down. That's perfect. We'll bring these two saws down and make these jumps a lot better. And then finally, I want to leave these timings as is, and I want to make this a timing. And then I think I'm content with doing that. I like that. I think that looks good. It's tougher, it's tighter, but it still feels very consistent. I like the changes I made. Let's move on to the next part I think that should be changed. This wave is not a part that I should change. I think it's perfect the way it is, honestly. This part, however, is kind of a nightmare. Firstly, I want to make some jumps more consistent. Here's better. I want to move this little structure here over a little bit. And then for this part can be really buggy, really annoying, but I know how to fix these bugs. Firstly, I'm going to need to delete, let me go out of preview mode for this one. I'm going to need to delete that middle spike and move this spike over. I need to delete this ground segment and this ground segment. I need to move this slope here and this little slope complement thing over here. And I need to put this right here. That'll just make that section work just much better. This part, I honestly am just going to get rid of the mirror portal. I don't think it's needed. I think it'll just be better without it, but just to keep kind of the spirit of the mirror portal in there, I'm gonna just have this be a little mirror portal thing. Mirror portal fan will be happy. I do want to buff this ship because this ship feels, while it's a difficult ship, it just feels a little too easy for the level. So I'm just gonna make a lot of these saws tighter and just add more of them. And then I want to make this whole part tighter. I just want to make these like these normal spikes. And I also just want to rotate them and make these corridors tighter. I want to line a lot of the top of this with these spikes. I don't know. I just think it looks good. We'll make this transition much tighter as well. I like that a lot better, honestly. Let's make this a lot less open and forgiving by bringing a saw down here. Tighten that passage a little bit. Ooh, we could bring these over here and just say no more landing on the roof there. Alright, and we're finally at the beginning part of the level. And I don't want to change the decode ship much. But the wave we're just going to buff. We're going to buff very hard. We're going to put these little spikes all around the decode wave. Basically in every open space we can. Just make it a lot tighter to navigate through the decode wave. And also, I think it makes it aesthetically look very cool. I honestly really like the beginning of this level. It's actually super satisfying to play. The end is satisfying too, but when you put them together, it just really ruins the experience. Or not even ruins it, because I think the level's still alright, but like it just makes it more frustrating. So I think these simple changes of just balancing fixes and whatnot can really go a long way and make this level a lot more fun to play. Alright, that wave looks a lot tighter and a lot scarier. For the final change, I just want to move this back a bit to make the opening of the level a little bit more reactable. Okay, I think that's good. I think I did the changes pretty well. I'm proud with the final product. It feels a lot better to play now. It feels a lot more balanced. I'm happy with it. I'm going to do a couple runs on it. If I can't verify it in a reasonable amount of time, I will do a no-clip showcase.
Ultimate destruction. ultimate destruction.
Okay, that was fixing Ultimate Mix. We did a couple balancing changes, a couple bug fixes. Really, the level feels a lot more fluid, a lot more improved, a lot more fun to play, and a lot more consistent. I hope you guys enjoyed watching. I've got some good ideas for this series in the future, like challenges and restrictions, so be sure to stay tuned for that. If you like this video, consider leaving a like. It helps out the channel greatly. Consider subscribing if you want to be kept up to date with new uploads. Very easy to do. All you have to do is hit a big red button. Helps me a lot. I appreciate it. Anyways, thank you guys for watching, and I'll catch you in the next video. Later!